Lloyd, aka MegaBlitzz. In today's video, we're going to be looking at all the Day 2 decks from Naic in New Orleans. Now, I'm really excited to look at all these decks, not only because the Twilight Masquerade was legal for this tournament, but Charizard is no more the king of Standard right now. I mean, Charizard was kind of the front runner for so long, but that does not seem to be the case. We're going to be taking a look at all the Day 2 decks and kind of just be talking about at least most of the decks and, of course, kind of what ended up happening at New Orleans. So let's jump right in to those deck lists. Alrighty, here we are at those deck lists. But before we start looking at all these deck lists here, the thing that I was talking about with Charizard no longer being the front runner, if you go to the home page of Limitless, the top decks for Brilliant Stars to Twilight Masquerade, Gardevoir is kind of that big front runner, as well as Lost Box, Lugia, Raging Bolt, and then Charizard, and then Dragapult. So, with that being said, Charizard seems to kind of be on the bit of a downtrend going into the future and after New Orleans. So, starting us off with our first place deck, we got Lost Zone Toolbox, won by Andrew Hedrick, the same person that took Dialga to Indianapolis and said, hey, I'm going to win this regional, and I'm going to take this to Indianapolis, and I'm going to win. And then I'm going to take this Lost Box deck to NAIC, and I'm going to win that too. So, congratulations, Andrew Hedrick. You have proven to be one of the best Pokemon players that the game has seen. So, really, really cool. Honestly, nothing too crazy with this list. I mean, minus the kind of includes of Blood Moon Ursaluna and Iron Thorns EX. That's kind of it, really. Nothing else really stands out to me. Sure, we're playing heavy Switch Cart. Sure, we're playing heavy Switch, heavy Super Rod, and heavy Pokestop. But that's not really a whole lot different than the, Lost Zone Kyogre that we've seen before, where it plays like Pokestop and Super Rods and is trying to do all these things. So, not too shocked to see Lost Box doing well. However, did not expect it to win the entire thing. I had my money on Gardevoir, and Gardevoir would have been the deck that I had played to NAIC. I actually just put out a video just before this one about the deck that I would have taken to NAIC, and that was Gardevoir EX. So I'm really glad that I made a pretty good judgment call. That feels pretty good. I mean, just the 2nd through 7th place, just in top 8 alone, is Gardevoir and then a Lost Box deck. So let's look at our second place list here. We got Stefan Ivanov coming in second place with this Gardevoir list here, playing Hyper Roam, of course, being able to get those Refinement Curlias, playing Gardevoir EX, got the Monkey Dory in there, playing the Dark Energies, of course, as well. Playing that Clef Key for that Mischievous Lock ability, really for some disruption in here, as long as Pokemon's in the active spot, basic Pokemon in play have no ability select for Mischievous Lock. Really helpful against the Lost Zone matchup, really helpful into even other matchups too. First one that comes to my mind is even some of the mirror match for Gardevoir as well, but if you have that Mischievous Lock in the active spot, Adrenaline Brain from the Monkey Dory isn't effective. Flutter Mane doesn't have an ability anymore, which is also really effective. And shuts off things like Manaphy and even our Radiant Pokemon as well. Radiant Serena, Radiant Greninja, and Charizard, and things like that. So pretty cool. Got one Enhanced Hammer for that Lugia matchup, I'm sure. But other than that, nothing too crazy going on with this Gardevoir deck. Just Gardevoir really kind of finding its way back into the meta and finding a way to just still stay relevant. So really cool to see that going on. Now let's look at this the third place list. Sorry here. This one playing Unfair Stamp and that Tatsugiri as well. So really cool to be able to see, just Gardevoir performing well and having different ways to play it as well, playing the Unfair Stamp instead of the Hyper Roma. You can still play Hero's Cape in the deck if you prefer that way as well. You can play Dude Drifloon. This one's playing 2 Monkey Dory as well. We had seen on stream with this deck versus, I believe it was Isaiah Bradner, that double Monkey Dory really coming in handy. And really just showcasing that, man, it's really helpful when you can just Adrenaline Brain and move all kinds of damage counters off of your stuff. Really be able to spread out those damage counters can be very helpful. So really cool. Super glad that I made that great judgment call of Gardevoir here. Going into our fourth place list, we're not going to spend too much time on the rest of these Gardevoir decks because they're going to be kind of cookie cutter and pretty similar at this point. Two Time Machine Evolution, this one playing the D Evolution, is opting into playing the Unfair Stamp here, playing one Enhanced Hammer. Not playing the Pokestop and not playing the whole like Super Rod stuff back in. Or sorry, I'm getting that mixed up with Lost Box. Silly me, because I was going to look at the Lost Box deck after this. But nothing too crazy going on with that Gardevoir deck. And a lot of these are pretty similar here. We got that, yep, Technical Machine Evolution, De-Evolution. Got the Hero or Luxurious Cape going on in this one here, though. So that I have that going on. And then, of course, let's look at our 8th place Lost Box deck. Still playing the heavy Pokestop. Not as heavy. Only playing the 3 Pokestop, not the 4th Pokestop. But very similar to Andrew Hedrick's list, playing the heavy Lost Vacuum. This deck is in a position where it can really get to 7 that first turn attacking. Because you can go Comfey, Comfey, maybe even a 3rd Comfey. And you're trying to attack, so you're going to have access to Colress. And then on top of that, you still have like Rescue Board and things like that. You have your Pokestops. Or your opponent might even have played something on their first turn, like an item or Forest Sealstone. The format is still very dependent on Forest Sealstone to try to get that kind of early game setup. So being able to Lost Vacuum, pitch something from your hand into that Forest Sealstone can really help you get to 7 cards in the Lost Zone, so that you can pull off a turn 1 Moonlight Shuriken play, which can be really cool. Or even just putting this Iron Thorns in the active here and kind of being some disruption with that as well. So really cool, we got that going on. We got Snorlax Stall coming up here, playing 0 energies in this entire list, playing only just 8 Pokemon, Quad Lax, 2 Rotom, 1 Pidgeot, 1 Mimikyu, and then all of these supporters. We got 4 Temple of Sinnoh, so did not want to lose to Lugia at all. Playing Accompanying Flute, reveal the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. You may choose any number of basic, but when you find them, put those cards onto the onto the bench, and then your opponent shuffles. So some disruption going on there. Playing 4 copies of that brand new Accompanying Flute. Of course, playing Erica's Invitation, Giacomo, 4 Arven, 3 Eerie, 2 Misfortune Sisters. So kind of just, we got 1 Handheld Fan as well. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an opponent's attack, move an energy from the attacking Pokemon one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So really helpful being able to put that on to, you know, maybe even like your Pidgeot V or your Mimikyu or something, and just being able to push energies away can be really helpful. But I think this Handheld Fan would do better in the Wigglytuff control version. Not too sure that I don't play control that often. We got Miraidon, though, making a comeback. Coming up here, playing 16 Lightning Energy, 2 Double Turbo, really just kind of going for that, like, just, I'm going to Generator, I'm going to hit energies, I'm going to put them onto my Pokemon, and I'm going to Punch Face. And that's kind of it. Radiant Energy to draw cards, Hyper Blower for the Iron Bundle, Muse Restart ability, its free retreat, and Genome Hacking is really good. Lumineon, basically for the same thing, for that Luminous Sign. And then, of course, as well, we do have the Blood Moon Ursaluna. Now, you are able to kind of attack with this Blood Moon Ursaluna, but the problem is yes, Blood Moon, its ability, season skill, Blood Moon used by this Pokemon's cost. Blood Moon used... Okay, that's ridiculous. Okay, basically, it's worked like Radiant Charizard. It costs 1 less for each prize card your opponent has taken. I don't know why it's worded like that. It's confusing me, but it's fine. So, but Electric Generator only lets you put the electric energy that you find from Generator on your electric Pokemon, so you can't put them on Blood Moon or Ursaluna. You can only put them on your electric Pokemon. So, still pretty cool seeing Miraidon do well there. We got another Gardevoir deck. Let's take a peek at this one here. I'm playing Unfair Stand, playing Tuning Machine Evolution, playing only 1 Dark Energy, though, so we're really wanting to get some attacks more consistent and do some more damage with Drifloon, the Cresselia, Screamtail, and things like that. So that's pretty cool. We got Raging Bull Ogerpon. This was kind of the new hot deck online. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was playing it. It was kind of like everybody's kind of new thing that they were talking about. So nothing too crazy. Pretty much all the lists that all of us have been seeing online. Playing the Energy Retrieval, playing the Sandy Shocks, playing the Ogerpons, be able to Teal Dance, put a bunch of energies onto that, put them back into our hand, Teal Dance again, draw cards, recycle those, hit big numbers with Bellowing Thunder from that Raging Bolt, being able to discard, for every energy you discard does 70 damage. So, not too crazy. Nothing too crazy going on with that Raging Bull Ogerpon deck, but it's kind of the new hot thing that everybody's talking about. Then we got Regidrogo here. Regidrogo V-Star. Do not want to print proxies. I want to open his image. Thank you. This one not playing like Arc Drago, just kind of like Regidrogo V-Star. Just flat out, I'm going to play Research. I'm going to play Ultra Ball. I'm going to discard things. I'm going to draw cards with Teal Dance, and we're going to Punch Face. Now, the cool thing about this is you have different things you have access to for different matchups. Noivern being able to have some disruption with that Covert Flight, or even being able to have some more disruption with that Denominating Echo. for basically making so that special energies or stadium cards can't be played, and then preventing damage from my basic Pokemon is really nice. Raging Bolt to be able to discard energies to do some big damage. Rolling Iron from that Goodra as well. We got 2 Dragapults in here to make sure you definitely can get the Dragapult in the discard pile. But Phantom Dive, 200 damage. Put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like is pretty good. Something I would like to see come from this deck would be just take out 1 Dragapult and put in like a Giratina V-Star. I think that could go a long way if you did that personally. Especially just because like 280 is pretty good number to hit in the Pokemon trading card game. So definitely like that. Another Lost Zone deck here played by Sawyer. Nothing too crazy. Got the Iron Thorns in here. Kind of going very similar for Andrew Hedrick's build. Got another Gardevoir. We got Chen Pao back Excalibur. First Chen Pao deck showing up on the scene here. Playing the Collect Frigibacks, of course. Definitely worried about that. Playing the 3 Bidoof 170 to make sure we can at least get a barrel set up so we don't have to worry about Dragapult too much. 2 Chen Pao, 1 Iron Hands. But other than that, it's pretty cookie cutter, pretty similar to the other ones. 2 Cypher Maniacs Code Breaking. I could probably go to 1. I kind of like 1 Cypher Maniacs Code Breaking. And then maybe going to like a 3rd Chen Pao, personally. Or even maybe just playing Manaphy could also be pretty good. Tord Reklev playing Charizard Pidgeot. Let's take a look here. Charizard with Dragapult and Pidgeot and Babarrel, and Tord playing just shenanigans as Tord does. I playing Unfair Stamp in here for some disruption. So really trying to just Infernal Rain, put energies onto Charizard or onto your Dragapult if you need to as well. The nice part is you can Infernal Rain for 3, so you will be able to put 2 on Charizard and then 1 on that Dragapult. So pretty cool. Tord cooking up something pretty unique for NAIC. Got Aaron Robb playing Gardevoir. Miraidon EX playing the Heavy Baton in here. It's kind of like a toolbox Miraidon type deck going on with the Future Booster Energy Capsule, so you can retreat out of that Iron Thorns. Got the Heavy Baton in there, so we can move energies after our Iron Hands or our Iron Thorns are KO potentially. Being able to put them to Blood Moon or Ursaluna, or being able to move them to Raichu so we can Dynamic Spark for really big KOs. So pretty cool seeing Miraidon make a pretty big comeback. We got Future Hands coming back. Future Hands is Future Hands. Great. Playing 2 new Iron Thorns EX. That's kind of the only thing that's going to change there. Alex Shemansky playing Lugia. So this is our first Lugia deck here. We got Drapion V. Not too sure why we're playing that in the deck. Mostly probably so we can hit Gardevoir stuff for weakness is going to be my guess. But other than that, Drapion's the only reason I can see you playing that is just make sure you can hit, hit Gardevoirs for weakness or hit any second Pokemon for weakness. Gardevoir being the big one, especially if you're predicting Gardevoir to be something of a problem for Lugia, which it can be. We got Iron Hands in here. Of course, we got Blood Moon Ursaluna, Hyper Blower, Iron Bundle. We got the Word Deer in here. So kind of going back to that more, like, colorless Lugia plus Rainbow Lugia type pack, which is pretty cool. Trying to kind of like Weird Deer V, Frontier Road, put a bunch of energy onto stuff to finish the game can be really strong. Got the Jamming Tower in here. Jamming Tower is a fantastic stadium for this deck and for a lot of other decks too. Pokemon tools attached to each Pokemon. Both heroes and opponents have no effect. So pretty cool seeing Lugia show up here. We got our first Dragapult deck. Playing kind of just what we've been seeing. Dragapult with Pidgeot, be able to find cards. Playing Neo Upper Energy. First time we've ever seen Neo Upper Energy do this well. But it makes sense being able to put that onto your Dragapult. You know, quick search for it, Neo Upper Energy. It allows you to cut back on some of your energies and open up for this more toolbox type variant, playing kind of like how Charizard does with that 1/1 Bidoof Barrel line, playing the Rotom for early game with that Forest Seal Stone, playing Enhanced Hammer. So playing that Neo Upper Energy and playing that Pidgeot package and stuff allows us to be a little bit more toolbox and have some extra cards that are access, like Tyling Machine De-Evolution and Enhanced Hammer, Rosen's Backup, and being able to play the Barrel package are kind of just the big ones for me that I like to see. Got another Chen Pao deck, another Stall deck, another Gardevoir deck. Gardevoir kind of just going to look the same for most of this stuff. Unfair Stamp, you know, playing the Monkey Dory, playing at least 1 or 2 Dark Energies, 1 Enhanced Hammer. Enhanced Hammer is definitely really, really good for Gardevoir for sure. Another Raging Boat Ogre Pond deck. Nothing too crazy here. If I'm playing Jamming Towers, really don't want to have to deal with any sort of tools or anything like that. Gardevoir just kind of really showing up here. Ryan into Nucci. Let's take a look at that list. Pretty Pretty standard. Playing there's the one Dark Energy, so maybe one Dark Energy is the way to go. I'm not too sure. I kind of like the second one because if that first Dark Energy gets prized, if you only play one and it gets prized, it's going to feel real bad. But that's neither here nor there. We got Lugia as well. Let's take a look at this Lugia list. Playing the Cinccino package still. Alex Szymanski's list is not playing the Cinccino package. I still like the Cinccino package. It's really good. It hits really hard. It's really nice into some of those big decks, especially like Charizard still kind of being around. The mirror match it's really helpful in as well. So I definitely like the Cinccino package. I think in cutting back to like maybe like a 3-3 instead of a 4-3 is really nice, opening up that slot for something else, kind of like Iron Bundle or maybe even like Iron Hands. I really like Iron Bundle in Lugia. I think it's fantastic. Refrigerator Stream is a fantastic attack. If there's any Pokemon's an evolution Pokemon, I can't attack any opponent's next turn. Really underrated, really good Legacy Energy for the choice of A-Spec here. Legacy Energy is kind of going to be the new A-Spec of choice, I think, for Lugia going forward. I can't expect anyone to play anything else. Another Chen Pao, got another Gardevoir. We already looked at these. We got a Dragapult down here. Another Charizard played by William as Vito, kind of the innovative maker of Charizard, really. So just kind of playing the straightforward Charizard deck that we've been seeing with the 2-2 Pidgeot line, the 1-1 Bidoof Barrel line. So kind of not really steering too far from what he's been playing, just kind of sticking right and true with Charizard. Mega Promowat playing Dragapult EX, very similar to what Tord is playing, actually maybe, or yeah, very similar to what Tord is playing with the Charizard and stuff, a little bit different, kind of going more for the Dragapult heavy side instead of the Charizard kind of even split side, but still really cool to kind of see where everybody was going with that stuff. We got Josh Frink playing Gardevoir. He's been playing tons of Gardevoir, kind of been his go-to bread and butter lately. This is kind of the standard list that I've been playing for Gardevoir. I think this is actually pretty much the exact same six that I've actually been playing for Gardevoir. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad I was on track for something here going forward. We got Pidgeot Control. Let's take a look at some Pidgeot Control. All kinds of color we got going on here. We got Pidgeot, got the Frigoraph EX. I believe this was played by, yeah, Alessandro Cremascoli. He's really good. Plays tons of control. We got the Wellspring Ogerpon in there. Got the Chi-Yu. Got the Bouffalon Sandshrew. So playing one of all those energies so we can hopefully get into some of that stuff. Being able to attach all these energies so we can start milling. We can Torrential Pump, or we can Sob if we need to. Making Sob during your opponent's next turn if any Pokemon can't retreat. So we can trap with that as well, which is really helpful. Hero's Cape. So pretty cool seeing Control show. We got Ancient Box played by Andrew Kennett. Ancient Box, once again, I've been saying this for a while now. Ancient Box is really good. I think it's a great deck. I think it's pretty consistent. Playing the Walking Wake, though. Aurora gain 20, heals 20 damage for his Pokemon. Undulating Slice for 2 water and a colorless. Put up to 9 damage counters on this Pokemon. This tech does 20 damage for each counter placed on this way. But we're not playing any water energy to be able to attack with that. So we're basically just discarding as much as we can. Playing the Secret Box, though, which I think is really cool. Being able to find an item, a tool, and a supporter in a stadium, reveal them, and put them into your hand. So that's pretty cool. Secret Box getting played, but it makes sense being able to find yourself, you know, Ultra Ball to discard more stuff, you know, your Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, and then being able to find Pokestop, and then being able to find, like, Explorer's Guide to Status Vitality. So you really get a lot with Secret Box coming from that. We got another Regidrogo deck, very similar to what we've seen before. And then we got another Raging Bull Ogerpon deck, kind of just, yeah, basically we've been seeing with the, so everyone playing this basic Sandy Shock, so it's really good. Magnetic Burst 20 plus. If you have 3 or more energy in play, this attack does 70 more damage. This damage isn't affected by any weakness. It's really good in the Lost Box because you're going to be able to hit, you know, that whatever it is, 90 damage to KO Comfeys or Curlias or in the Gardevoir matchup or anything like that. And it's not as good, however, into Lugia because, yes, it is fighting, and Cinccino is weak to fighting, it isn't affected by weakness, so it's only going to be doing 90 no matter what. Doesn't matter. Scrolling down here, we got another Miraidon deck. Tons of more Lost Box decks. We'll take a look at some of these Lost Box decks going on. Very similar with the Pokestops and the Super Rods, so that's pretty cool. Everyone kind of on the same page with there. We got Lost Sablezard, though. A little bit more innovative with the Monkey Dory, trying to do some damage counters with that, which I think is pretty cool. Maybe just trying to Mind Bend as well. I'm not too sure. We got Hassel in the deck, though. Or Hassel? Hassel? I don't know. You can only use this card if any of your Pokemon are knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Look at the top 8 cards of your deck, put 3 of them into your hand, shuffle the others back into your deck. So that's pretty cool, especially for your single prize deck as well. Got another Miraidon deck here. Kind of similar thing going on, just heavy electric energy count, just generators hit those energies, not have to worry about it. Another Lugia deck here. Nothing too crazy. Got the Iron Hands Lumineon. Fluttermane is a really cool card that I like to see played in Lugia. We got the Iron Thorns deck. This deck is basically just a control deck. It's trying to control you out of the game. Playing 4 copies of Iron Thorns EX. Only Pokemon. Crushing Hammers. We're playing Energy Lotto. We're playing Canceling Clones. We're playing heavy Disruption with 3 Iono, 3 Judge, 4 Crushing Hammer. We got Canceling Clone here. We got Free Retreat for these future booster energy capsules. We got 4 lost cities, so we're trying to make sure your stuff can't get any of your stuff back. And then Turbo Energize, here's your deck for up to 2 basic energy, attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like. To start the turn is really nice as well. Kind of go Arven, go second, Arven, boom, attach, Turbo Energize, and go is really cool. Got another Charizard Pidgeot here. I'm pretty sure this is just going to be like Tordzard. Yep, so it's basically just the kind of thing going on here. Got our first Goldengo deck, however, with the Rev of Room. I've been saying that. I really think that it's a really good card. And then we got the Hyper Aroma. Hyper Aroma is really good. So check out the 3 stage 1 Pokemon reveal them. So you'll be able to go Gimme Ghoul, Palkia V, or like, you know, Vroom into Rev of Room and then just Hyper Aroma. Find whatever those stage 1s you need. Evolve all of them and just go nuts. We'd love to see that. Absolutely really cool being able to see that be done. I know Andrew Mahone and JW Creewall and that kind of crew, they played Goldengo to NEIC, I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty awesome. We got some more Lugia down here, some Gardevoir. Pretty much everything. This one playing Wellspring Ogerpon EX, which is kind of cool as well. I love to see that. Got some more Charizard going on. Just go through. We got Lost Tina, our first Lost Tina deck here. Pretty standard what we've been seeing with Lost Tina. Just 3 Giratina V, 3 Giratina V Star, 1 Blood Moon Ursulene EX. Kind of a little bit of a sauce for that. But other than that, very similar to what we've been seeing for Lost Tina. I was just, the Forest Steel Star, I'm kind of growing on it. I'm kind of not. I don't know. I can see why people, I understand why people play it, and I get it. It's just, I don't know. It's just not for me. We got another Dragapult here, but this one being Lost Box Dragapult, being played with Radiant Charizard as well. So we got that going on. Just basically, like, this is kind of the version of Dragapult that I enjoy the most. I really like Lost Box decks. I really like Last Zone Dragapult. It is really fun to play. So pretty cool seeing that show up here. Got Zach Elliott playing Greninja EX. Now we're talking. We're getting into some sauce here. Playing that Monkey Dory in there for that Mind Bend or that Adrenaline Brain to be able to move some damage counters as well. Got the De-Evolution in there. We got the Shinobi Blade coming from that Greninja. 170 damage. Make sure you deck for a card to put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then Mirage Barrage. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. This does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. I really like to see the Greninja showing up and doing well. I definitely want to try this out. Playing the Frostlass as well. Freezing Shadow during Pokemon. Check it out. Put 1 damage counter on each Pokemon that has an ability. So, not only putting stuff on your stuff that has an ability, but on your opponents as well, and being able to Adrenaline Brain and move that off of your stuff to theirs. Of course, playing the Pigeon in here for that quick search ability as well is also really nice. So I'm definitely excited to try out that Greninja deck. Looks really cool. Keep going down through here. Nothing too else crazy that I catch my eye. Got an Ancient Box, got some more Gardevoir, some more Raging Bolt, Ogerpon, another Pidgeot Control, another Future Hands, another Miraida, another Iron Thorns. Let's take a look at this Gardevoir here deck here. Make sure. Okay, so it's been playing Lost Vacuum. Unlike the other ones, a lot of the other decks weren't playing Lost Vacuum. But other than that, still seems pretty similar. So everybody's kind of on the right path with that. Let's take a look at this Lugia list here. Still playing the Cincino, which I love to see. Playing the Legacy Energy, playing the Iron Hands and the Lumineon, which is great because you're going to be able to Aqua Return with that Legacy Energy. 120 damage, shuffle Lumineon, and all the cards attached to it back into your deck is really good. Tons of Gardevoir. Got another Goldengo deck played by JW Creewall. Sam Chen playing some Lost Box. We'd love to see that. Another Regidrogo deck here. Everybody kind of just on this Regidrogo deck, which I think is pretty cool. Another Dragapult, another Gardevoir. We got a Dialga deck down here. Let's take a look at this Dialga deck. Looks just like Andrew Hedrick's list for the most part, minus this Jamming Tower. I believe that other card, I think, might have been like Artisan or Temple of Sinnoh or something. I'm not too sure. But we're playing Jamming Tower instead now, which I think is really good. I think Jamming Tower is a fantastic card, and it can go into a lot of decks and definitely makes some sense as well. We got another Charizard Pidgeot here. Just kind of playing Tordzard, if it were. But now Tordzard's a new Tordzard, so I don't really know. I've come up with a new name for that for myself. Got Miraidon down here. We got some more Pidgeot control. This one playing just kind of Pidgeot control. No Wigglytuff control going on. Jesse Parker here playing some Goldango. So let's take a look at this list. They all kind of played the same list. Andrew Mahone, J.W. Creewall, and Jesse Parker all played the same Goldango deck. So got the 1-1 Bidoof Barrel line. Got the Palkia V and V-Star. Got the Goldango. Silene. I listened to the Tech Team podcast. I do listen to that. They said maybe cutting Silene could be good. Maybe putting in like a second Power Pack could be decent or something like that. Just changing Silene to something else could be helpful. So still pretty cool. I'm glad that Goldango is still around. My buddy Blake loves Goldango. It was kind of his first competitive deck, so I'm sure he'll love to see that our favorite crew from Ohio is playing Goldango. We got Dre playing some Gardevoir. Let's take a look and see what Dre's got going on. 2 Dark Energy, 2 Evolution. Got the Unfair Stand, got the Monkey Door going on. So that's pretty cool. Love to see it. Got a Roaring Moon deck here. Let's take a look at this Roaring Moon deck. Got the 1-1 Darkrai V and V-Star. Once again, this had popped up somewhere else. I'm not too sure where it popped up. Maybe like a Japan list or something. And I think this is really cool, really innovative. Got that Dark Pulse in here. This type of damage for each Dark Energy touch all your Pokemon. Then Star Abyss. During your turn, you may put 2 item cards from your discard pile back into your hand, which is really helpful because you'll be able to recycle your Dark Patches, which can be very good. Keep going down here. Let's see what else we got. Got some more Lugia going on down here. Nothing too crazy going on to 2 Jamming Tower in that list. Got a Roseanne's backup as well. Now some more Lost Tina, some more Miraidon, another Dragapult down here, another Dialga. Let's take a look at the last couple decks here. Let's take a look at this Pidgeot control deck. So I'm playing the Regieleki as well in here. We got the Entei V, so that's pretty cool. Magma Basin, I love to see that. Got another Raging Boat Ogre Pond deck. Let's take a look at this. Nothing too crazy. Got the, well, say the Corner Spring Mask Ogre Pond's pretty cool. I do like this a lot. Its ability, Cornerstone Stance, prevent all damage from attacks onto this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon that have an ability. Demolish 140. This attack's damage is affected by weakness or resistance by any effects of your opponent's active Pokemon, which is pretty cool. Love to see that. Got another Lugia deck down here. That's not what I wanted to click on. We got this Lugia deck here. Playing the Carmine. I'm not a huge fan of the Carmine. I don't know. It's got times where it's great. It's got times where it's not. Sometimes it's kind of bad when you go, okay, Carmine, discard your hand, first turn, draw 5, and you draw like 4 energies. And you're like, great, I love that. So I'm kind of hit or miss with the Carmine, but still really cool to see Lugia doing well. Got another Gardevoir deck. Nothing too crazy going on this. Got the Unfair Stamp. Got another Lost Box deck here. Playing kind of just like more the standard way. Playing some Pokestops, some Super Rod. We're kind of split down the middle a little bit. I like to see that. We got another Miraidon deck down here as well. Got another Dragapult, another Dialga. So let's go and look here at the statistics. 62 decks for Gardevoir makes up of 21% of the meta. 46 Lugia, about 16% of the meta. We got 43 different Lost Box decks here, making about 2 Lost Zone Charizard, making about 15%. We got 1 Lost Zone Raging Bolt. I must have missed that one. Let's see if we can hunt down that real quick. There it is, played by Sammy Allen. So let's take a look at this real quick. Probably just something very similar to the gentleman from the Shuffle Squad that had played it. It does look very similar. So that's pretty cool. Got that going on. So 35 Raging Bolt decks, about 12% of the meta. 20 Dragapult. 10 Lost Box, 10 regular. So we're kind of split down the middle, about 7%. We got 18 Miraidon, about 6%. 13 Charizard Pidgeot. But some of these Charizard decks are a little bit different. Some of them have Dragapult in them. Some of them just kind of like no Dragapult in them. So about 4.5%, 5% of the meta. 10 Chien-Pao by Skylar, about 3.5%. 7 Stole, about 2%. 7 Lost Tina, about 2%. We got 5 Ancient Box, about 1%, about 2%. 5 Pidgeot Control, about 2%. 4 Regidrogo at 1%. 4 Future Hands at 1%. 3 Goldango at 1%. 3 Iron Thorns at 1%. We got 2 Dialga Matang at about 1%. 1 Greninja Frostlass at like 0.5%. And then we got 1 Roaring Moon at 0.5% as well. So Gardevoir really just kind of taking the reins for NAIC. I'm really excited to see what the format looks like going forward. Twilight Masquerade really shook up our meta, it looks like, and I'm super glad. I'm glad to see Charizard kind of taking a hit a little bit. I'm glad to see some other decks kind of coming out of the woodworks. Regidrogo, this Regidrogo deck seems pretty cool. I'm really glad to see Goldango still doing well. This Iron Thorn stuff. We even got this Greninja stuff. So we had some rogue stuff. We had some meta stuff. But looks like Gardevoir is kind of in the front running right now. So that's pretty cool. But let's jump right in to that outro. Alrighty, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments below what deck you guys would have taken to NAIC. Personally, I would have taken Gardevoir EX. I made a whole video about that. So if you haven't watched that, definitely check that out as well. I kind of just go over the list of Gardevoir that I've been playing, kind of some cool plays and stuff with Gardevoir, along with some gameplay footage and showcasing why I feel like Gardevoir was kind of the best pick for NAIC. But while you're down there putting that in the comments, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!